Chapter 13. The heavy snow was falling down. The wind was cold and piercing, the wind was whistling. The snow was falling heavily on the ground. Behind the frosted glass, the little blonde girl sat silently in front of the window, her beautiful deep blue eyes staring out the window, enjoying the magnificent snowfall. On her small, snow-white face were bright red lips like two delicate rose petals, her rosy cheeks made her look like a BJD doll, full of life. Through the falling snow, one could vaguely see a notebook in her hand. She looked at the snow and lowered her head to write in her diary. As of today, I have been at the Overlook Hotel for a month. It seems like Dad has a lot of work, although I don't know what he is busy with, but it has been a long time since Mom and I have seen him. The weather is getting colder and colder, not long ago it snowed heavily, blocking the road up the mountain. Mom said that people down the mountain can't come up here, there is a problem with the communication device, she is trying to fix it. Father was still in the lobby. I saw the twins again, the two of them still holding hands and standing together. This time I saw them fall in the hallway. The hallway was covered in blood, the two of them were lying on the ground, they were separated, they couldn't hold hands anymore, because they were dead. I saw them die, I don't know who killed them. Last night, when I was sleeping, I heard a commotion downstairs, but I didn't go out to see. Today, it seemed like Father had been drinking, he was lying on the floor in the lobby, snoring, it was still Mother and I who helped him to bed together. I don't like it here. Someone knocked on the door outside, she stopped writing, closed the notebook. The date was clearly written in black ink on the diary page. January 2nd, heavy snow. The little girl jumped down from the chair, trotted to open the door, in front of her was her mother Ray. Siddle, the woman gently stroked her daughter's bright golden hair, smiling and asking, "Do you want to go to the maze in the forest with me?" "No, Mom." Siddle refused, she raised her snow-white face to look out the window with her deep blue eyes. "It's cold outside, I want to stay in the room and read." "Okay then," Ray smiled helplessly, "if there's anything, remember to find me, I'll go downstairs and continue working." She still had to go check all the equipment in the hotel. But this was originally Kelson's job. Siddle silently looked at her mother's tired face, obediently nodding, her crystal-clear eyes gradually turning cold. A month had passed. Ever since Kelson's father found a job as a hotel manager a month ago, and then brought the two of them to the Overlook Hotel, Siddle and Ray had gradually communicated less with him. It wasn't that she and her mother didn't want to talk to Kelson, but... She lowered her eyes, suddenly remembering the instructions of Uncle Haroon, the hotel chef. "Absolutely do not enter that room," he said, his face solemn, as if he was hiding a fear. Room 237. Room 237, what would there be? She wondered, but only felt confused, her mind was empty. She didn't know why. Since she was young, Siddle had been a much calmer and more rational child than the children of other families, but at this moment, a feeling of unease rose in her heart. In fact, this unease had appeared a long time ago, since the first day she arrived at the hotel and saw a pair of mysterious twins disappear right in front of her. At first, she thought it was an illusion, but the illusion became more and more serious. She began to see bloody and horrible things frequently. One time, when she was standing in the hallway, she suddenly saw the turn in front of her turn into a warehouse door. Then, blood gushed out and the door collapsed, and blood rushed towards her. But the most terrifying thing was that Siddle discovered that her anxiety did not come from those hallucinations. She discovered something terrifying, that the source of her anxiety actually came from her father. Kelson. Siddle opened her diary again and continued writing. "Every night, I hear noises in the lobby. I think I might know what the source of those sounds is." After hesitating for a moment, she added another line below. "I love my parents, no one can hurt them." Siddle heard her parents arguing. It was strange, they were clearly in the lobby, but she was on the second-floor corner, but she could hear it so clearly. She wore a white cotton nightgown, hugged the teddy bear, and quietly leaned against the cold, frost-covered glass, listening to the content of the argument. The content wasn't very clear, but it didn't matter. She was going to do something tonight. Siddle still had strange hallucinations. Sometimes, she always suspected that something was watching her. But when she turned her head, there was nothing. I have to find the thing that was watching me, Siddle thought. She knew, that thing was hiding in this hotel. No matter where it was, she would catch it. She had a feeling, the thing that was spying on her was the reason why her father Kelson was becoming more and more strange. She put down the teddy bear. In the large hotel that was sleeping soundly, the late night was quiet and silent. The sound of her parents arguing made her mind and heart confused, but Siddle forced herself to stay awake. She put on her shoes, opened the door and went out. No matter what kind of evil spirits were hiding in this place, she would protect her family. Siddle thought calmly, in the dark hallway, her face pale as snow. The Overlook Hotel was very big, but it was enough for a little girl to walk around in the evening. Because her family lived on the second floor, when Siddle passed by room 237, she stopped involuntarily, a strange feeling rising in her heart. She suddenly remembered. It seemed like she had forgotten something. But her thoughts were interrupted by the twins. At the end of the hallway appeared two children holding hands. They stared coldly at Siddle. Siddle also looked back coldly, her face unchanged as she walked past the two. In the past month, she had discovered that any abnormal images she saw were illusions. They were basically harmless. The sound of her parents arguing gradually faded away, as if she had ignored them. Siddle had gone downstairs. She was walking between the hotel's storage room and warehouse, a headlamp on her head, a flashlight in her hand, and two batteries in her nightgown pocket. She wandered from warehouse to warehouse, walking between the huge shelves. The surroundings were completely quiet. Siddle could only hear her own footsteps and breathing. Of course, she could only hear her own voice. If she heard someone else's voice in here now, it would be strange. The dark warehouse was illuminated by the lights. The little girl in the white dress had a pale face, her deep blue eyes scanned each shelf, her feet did not stop. Must be faster. In her head, a voice urged her. Must be faster. It said. Siddle walked faster, as if she was floating. She gently moved from warehouse to warehouse, then stopped next to the management room. This was the place. She slowly walked forward. On the table was an old personnel management book. Siddle opened it. On the first page she saw a name crossed out in red pen. Charles Grandy.